Hey guys, this is my little situation slash story slash lifestyle or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. I was gonna make this video yesterday, but I was in my feelings, so I did not. I'm over that now. But this is one. This video is verbal vomit, maybe. Rewind. But no, this video is just some encouragement and motivation to other people that might possibly be going through what I'm going through or something similar. I have two kiddos. My daughter is 13, my son is 11, and I had both of my kids premature. I had my daughter at 27 weeks gestational age, so she was like right at that good 7-month mark. And then I had my son at 23 weeks gestational age, so he was right under 6 months. I was right under 6 months pregnant. Both of my kids stayed in the hospital. My daughter was in the hospital for several months, but she didn't have too many health complications. She luckily was a pretty good sized baby. She was 3 pounds and 1 ounce. She had a grade 4 brain bleed, but it went away on its own, which was a miracle. And she came out of the hospital and she progressed to being a very healthy child. She eats me out of house and home, literally. But my son, he was a lot smaller, definitely at 23 weeks. And he was 12 ounces when he was born. And I'm going to try to plug some pictures either at the beginning of this video or at the end of the video, one of the two. But yeah, he was 12 ounces when he was born, and he was in the hospital for almost a year. He went through a lot of different surgeries and just everything. So when you're young like that, because I had my son, I was a teenage mom twice. I know, very statistical, I know. But I haven't had kids since, so there you go. But anyways, you have no idea what's going on. It's one thing to get pregnant and to be pregnant, but it's a totally different thing to get pregnant and have a sick child. I never in a million years thought that I would, I didn't even know what having kids premature was. I had no idea. I was too young. I was a kid myself. I didn't have any understanding of anything like that. So to have my daughter being premature at 1, that was like, oh my God. I didn't know anything about that world. So that was very tumultuous for me. And it definitely fed into postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis for me. And with my son, that was even more stressful because he was much smaller, much earlier. Even though it was just 4 weeks in pregnancy world, that is a significant amount of time. So it was really, really tough. And I had to stay in the hospital a week after I had my son. I didn't remember anything. After having the emergency C-section, I didn't remember anything. And he was gone. He was life-flighted to another state. He was actually life-flighted over to Louisiana. And I couldn't go be with my kiddo. I was just like, oh my God, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. But my doctor would not let me go because he said, Aubrey, you're not, excuse me, you're not well. And mind you, I was never sick through pregnancy. Both of my kiddos completely healthy, nothing wrong, nothing at all. But I would get to a certain point and I would just go into labor and they could not stop it. I was in labor with my daughter for 3 days. They were able to postpone it just that much. One of those days, I think like a good over 24 hours, I was in labor that entire day and had no idea. I just felt like I was having incredibly horrendous cramps. But, neither here nor there. So, yeah, he was gone, but my white blood cell count was high. For whatever reason, they didn't know why, but it was something that made my blood cell count go really high. But even the labor situation with my son, it was so tumultuous because I was having contractions when I was like 3 and 4 months. And for some people, y'all might be like, oh my God, that's what? Really, girl? No, really, girl. I was having contractions that early on. And since I had already had my daughter, I knew what the contractions felt like. And I went to the hospital, whenever I would get them. And, they don't really do anything. They'll put you on the monitor. And if you're not having contractions, when you're there, then there's really nothing that they can do. So they'll put you on the monitor. If the contractions are gone, okay, well, go home. They'll monitor you for like, you know, a few hours, maybe overnight if they feel like it's necessary. But no, they didn't really do too much of that for me. And I think about it now, I'm like, I don't think I would ever go back to the hospital, because I do feel that I wasn't given the proper treatment that I should have gotten, because again, I had gone in several times before because I was having contractions at a really, really early stage. And then when I finally went into labor, I went to the hospital and it's like, okay, there she is. It's just Aubrey. She's not in any type of labor. You know, she's just having all the false contractions. No, I was in full-blown labor, but they did not put me back. They did not check me or anything. They put me on a gurney and left me in the hallway. Literally, I definitely remember that. Put me on the gurney, left me in the hallway, and yeah, I sat there for what seemed like quite some time, because I was in active full-blown labor, having contractions literally about a minute apart. And mind you, I went via ambulance, and so that was just crazy. And by the time I got into a room, I think that my doctor was already there, and he just put his hand to check my, you know, vagina, my vaginal area, and he just started cussing. I remember that part. You know, he's like, what the hell are she saw in the hall? What is going on? Why haven't y'all done anything? And so this is what I'm hearing, and obviously it's like, bing, bing, something's wrong. Something's about to happen here. But I could feel it, because when you're in labor, you can feel it. You know when that pressure's coming. But I was just like, it's too early, it's too early. And then all of a sudden, there was this mass going over my face, and I could feel my stomach getting shaved. And I just remember being like, no, it's too early, it's not time. And I remember like, oh my God, just don't let my son die. So yeah, it was tough, you guys. It was so tough. And then to finally wake up, and I remember feeling my stomach, nothing was there. I had this bandage, this big bulky bandage on my stomach, but my stomach was gone. I just freaked out, y'all. I mean, I freaked out. So they tell me what's going on, and then the hospital where my son was, they were calling me, updating me. And when I tell you, waking up and getting phone calls from doctors that we don't think your son's going to make it overnight, he's really not doing great, but we're doing everything that we can, I'm freaking out. I don't remember if I was crying or not, because I think I was in such disbelief and in such shock. And I wasn't, like, once I came off of the anesthesia, I was able to rest. And I really feel like they gave me sleeping medicine on the slide, because I was so anxious. I couldn't sleep, and the hospital was constantly calling me, telling me how bad my son was doing. And I don't know, I think I just coasted. I think I coasted for like 2 years with my son. I had to have just coasted, because it was so surreal. But anyways, I'm still in the hospital. My doctor refuses to let me go. And when he finally let me go, I mean, I'm begging this man after days, like, please let me go. I have to go get to my son. I have to get to my son. And I finally get to my son after a week. Oh, I was just devastated. And then tears came down my face. But when you go through things like that, you tend to get really thick skin really quick. And I didn't have the best childhood anyway, so I tended to have thicker skin. But I'm still a super sensitive person, super sensitive. But I've been on my own since I was 15 years old. That's when I got pregnant with my daughter. But I was just, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And again, not knowing anything about the premature world, you're just like, oh my gosh. I'm coming back, being in the NICU, the neonatal intensive care unit, and seeing all these little bitty babies, and then my little bitty baby being, if not the smallest little bitty baby in there. And it was so tough. He was, if you guys know anything about, NICUs and stuff, they have different incubators, and I guess you could say the strongest one, it constantly vibrates, and that's what keeps the kids essentially alive, because they need that friction to help their their organs continued going, but he was on the ventilator and all that good stuff, and he was just so tiny. His skin was transparent. My now husband, which is my son's dad, I remember he saw his chest, and our son was so little he didn't have nipples, and my husband was like, "Is he gonna get nipples? Is he gonna get nipples?" Like, he was so concerned about that, and I needed to laugh. When you're going through anything like that, you need to laugh. You just need to laugh anyways. But I was like, yeah, I mean, I think so, because you could see where they were supposed to be, but they just weren't there. But he was super small. Again, I'll plug in pictures for you guys. But yeah, I'm saying all that to say my son didn't get well, so to speak. He ended up having a lot of complications, a lot of different surgeries, but he's still here. He's 11 years old. He has a slothopus. I just made that up. But he has a laundry list of diagnoses and things like that. The top one's been, epilepsy, cerebral palsy, lung disease, GERD, just a lot of different things. He's, he has hip dysplasia, severe hip dysplasia, which his hips are dislocated. And this is all connected to the fact that he had a lot of brain damage. He had over 90% brain damage due to lack of oxygen, being left out in the gurney, and all that stuff at the hospital that he was delivered in. And so he lives with that today, and I live through it with him. And again, this video was prompted by that, but I felt like I needed to give you guys some backstory to why I was in my feelings yesterday. And I'm just sharing my feelings because I know that there's another mom that is going through something similar to what I am. And yeah, getting to that, it was just the simple fact that, when you have a child that has special needs, your life revolves around them. Your life is going to revolve around your kids, period. If you are a parent, everything that you do is, for the most part, going to be centered around your child. You definitely need to take care of yourself, because that way you can take care of them better. I learned that years later. I'm still learning that today. But anyways, everything is centered around your kids. And when you have a sick kid, your world is definitely centered around them. My son is, eligible for like nursing hours and things like that. And we have had nurses and things of the sort. And we've had some great ones, and we've had some not so great ones. And that's a difficult journey, because you have to allow someone to take care of your child. You have to allow someone to be trusted in your home, trusted with the care of your child. And that's tough within itself. So right now, we don't have that. I don't have a nurse at the moment, so I'm home with our son, and I was struggling with the fact that it's difficult to work. It's difficult to really go and do anything, because at any moment you have to drop everything and get back to your special needs kid. And again, that's with kids in general, but I am telling you guys the truth. If you have a special needs child, particularly one that needs you to do every single thing for them, you are their eyes, you are their ears, you are their hands, you are their feet, you are bound to that person. And for me I've in my spirit, I'm a very movable person. I think that, leaving everything that I knew whenever I was 15 prompted me to be that way, so I can just get up and go. I don't feel bound to any particular city or state or town or any region. I don't feel bound to anything. My spirit just feels like it could just pick up and go at any time. But that's not possible. And you guys might hear my son in the background. He's chit-chatting, and he can't talk. He's not verbal like that, but he can babble like a baby. And that's his way of communication. And mind you, let me say this. My son is one of the happiest people that I know. He has gone through so much that most adults could not even stand. But he is one of the happiest people that I've ever met. And I'm grateful for that. Now, I've learned a lot of different things from my son, and there's a lot of decisions that I might make differently with the knowledge that I have today. However, this is where we are, and this is what we have. And this video is just to say that no matter what you're going through in life, it's okay, and you can get through it. you might make some plans and those plans will change. I definitely had plans and made plans and accomplished a lot. I accomplished a lot, and with no way, I still accomplished a great deal because I was a single mom for a while. But I still did a lot that some people wish that they could have done, and they are in their 40s and 50s and 60s, but I did it. I was telling my husband the other night, I got accepted into a doctorate program. So many people wish that they could say that. I wasn't able to stay in that program at the time because I didn't have help, and my nurse hardly had a nurse, and I had to take my son to work with me several times. But that's not always okay to take your kiddo to work. A time or two is cool, but it's not always okay to do that. And I always felt so helpless to a degree because I knew that in that sense I was not a dependable person. I was not a dependable employee because I could not be physically there. I'm like, if I could work remotely, telecommute, different things like that, I'm straight. But it's been taking me time to even get there, and I've had to really rework even just my educational avenue and what I needed to finish school for. And it's different than what I wanted to do initially and what I still might have wanted to do. But to make me employable or just to provide the services that I would like to provide for people and individuals, I had to change my plans, and that's okay. It's okay to change things around, never feel like your back is up against the wall. There's a lot of things that we have to take on, and it's our responsibility. We gotta do it. We gotta get it together and make it happen. But make it happen, you know what I mean? You can make it happen. Whatever you want to do, get on that Google and type some more, and surround yourself with just positive things, positive people. And the most positive person that you got to surround yourself around is you. You have to be your own positivity, even if it's just waking up every day and telling yourself that you are positive and that you are successful and that you are great. You might have to say that for some years, but you're manifesting your future. You're manifesting your positive nature. You're manifesting those good people around you. So just stick to it, guys, and I really hope that this motivates somebody. I know I might have been all over the place, but I just wanted to share before this slipped my mind and I decided to not share because I'm all over the place. There's so many pieces of me, and I want to be able to share that with people that are going through some of the same things. So I'm about to get off of here, you guys. I have a little break going on right now because classes don't start back for 2 more weeks for me. And again, I've had to reroute my educational stuff, but that's okay. And I want all you guys to know that you are okay too. You are enough, and you are awesome and amazing. Every rainbow in the sky is waiting for you. But all right, guys, y'all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Looks like we might get some rain here. But all right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.